Alright, back again. The red car is finally where it belongs, right in the middle. Lots of room and start tackling some of this bodywork. This all needs to get done. So what I might do is go around and find the areas that need fixing rust-wise. Yeah, rust-wise, obviously not twisted chassis-wise. So where have we got to look at? Here. 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 All this here. 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 A little bit there. I reckon there's a bit that's coming through there. The rest of this looks okay. Here. It's a bit pitted here. Maybe. Here. All across here. And here. Here. There. And there. I have a feeling all this rust and the one under there is all coming from water getting in through here and just charging down there and rusting all this out. So it'd be very interesting to see it once I cut all this away to see how buggered that is. We'll see how we go. Where else? Here. Which is that bit there, and here, which is all that grossness there. Other than that, I think it's okay. So although there's a lot of spots there, I don't think that's a lot. Obviously, all of this needs to be sorted, and all of this, which is why we took those other panels off. Stuff like this, I reckon I think we can just treat that. Gutters are all good. Yeah. I think the first task of today is I might just grab the new 2-inch stripper and do this window frame so that I get a nice picture of everywhere where there is rust. It doesn't feel like underneath there there's a whole lot of, if I get a little light on there, go up. So that's that bit. It doesn't actually look like the rust is that bad underneath. So it's obviously rusted from this side out. So the worst of it's going to be on this side. Right, I've got my necessary prying tools here. Right, I found, so there's rust on this side. I reckon that might have even been what started it. I think the only way to solve this mystery is to make our first cut in the red car. I'm going to cut up there and across. Yeah. Across there. because I don't really want to keep prying this back to see, because then it's going to warp and distort all this pillar on each side of it. So I really just want to cut it. Have a look. Let's do that. Right, I jumped over to the, what will this be, 3-inch cutting disc. See if this works better. So what I'm going to do today is grab the one we chopped off the other car that sort of sits like that. So I'm going to try to figure out roughly, you can see that there, roughly where I need to cut this section out to fill that gap. So I've just had a look at this section, and I can't obviously just cut any part off and make it work there, because I realised there is a really slight bend in it. Not much, but enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it off this drip rail here, and then I can cut the exact section I need, because I'm assuming the two drip rails are the same at any point anyway. Right, now the task will be, we only want this outer section here, this bit that comes down and then ends right there. You can see it. It's two little bits that lap over the top of each other. We just want this section here. So there's 3 at the top and there's 2 down there. So, how can we do this? Rightio. This is the patch. Now that patch, even though I had this this section already from the other car and just had to chop this out, took me hours. Mind you, a lot of it was spent. I decided to chop this section here off as well and grind that back, so you can see through there, because then it's keeping this whole piece as one original section, because you can see here from factory it came across there, went up and then down and then tucks in into there and gets spot welded up there. So I thought, instead of, you know, keeping that little section there of this here from the original, keeping that through there, I thought I might as well just keep it all as one bit. So I delicately cut that section out. Obviously it's really hard to get just the section out without cutting through to all these other sheets here. So basically I just had to grind that back bit by bit without trying to chop into this underside one. And then with this panel here, I just literally back and forth, test fitted, filed down a side, test fitted, filed down a side. I think this is the first little panel I've done, and I think I've learned a lot of lessons. Try to get your cuts as straight as possible. This one's a bit sort of, this one sort of bends out around like that a bit, and then sort of tucks up in there at a bit of a weird angle. Makes fitting these and adjusting these a lot of work. So it's not really as tight in there as I'd like it to be, but I think it'll do. So it sort of sits just in there like that-ish, sort of like that. So there is a bit of a gap down here and a gap on that side. Pretty tight across there, tightish there. But I think for my first little patch, I think that's the best I'm going to do. These bits here, I did contemplate keeping this whole lip from this little patch, but this here is actually part of this section up here, so I want to try to keep it all sort of what the original bits actually were. So that is the first little patch. It's all a learning process. I always knew it was going to be a learning process, but yeah, you can only get better. You can't get worse. You're never gonna try something and keep on practicing it and get worse. Otherwise, you're definitely doing something wrong. Next episode, you'll might even get to see me try the world for the first time, which is going to be pretty scary stuff. Scary for me, probably entertaining for you guys. Anyway, that's it for today. Might pick this up tomorrow. See ya.